Here is our 30-second ad break at the top of our show. A little behind the scenes for our subscribers. Welcome to another session of Philly by Night. Tonight is the season finale for our Rogues Gallery Neonate table entitled All Good Things. You will forgive us for being light on players this evening, but as they say in show business, the show must in fact go on. It is the evening of August 15th, 2024, in continuity. As the sun slowly sinks behind the Philadelphia skyline, the city is once again plunged into that neon tinged darkness. But tonight, the shadows grow a little longer, the lights a little dimmer. For there is a great deal of danger that lurks in the modern nights of the city of brotherly love. The prince has gone missing, presumed dead. The sheriff and keeper of Elysium are slowly on the mend after being returned to us from torpor. It is as dire as things can be for this city that teeters on the edge of being able to hold its praxis. Tonight, we will start our night by focusing on the city's other resident Mithraean, Mr. Pierce. As you rouse from day sleep, the hunger claws at the back of your throat. It is bile and ash. It is the beast braying for blood and satisfaction. How would you like to take care of that this evening?
Thomas is gonna go visit his herd.
Okay. You're able to successfully visit your herd, slake your hunger back down to one. Are you going to head to your personal haven or are you going to head to the coterie haven first?
Uh, guess the coterie haven.
Okay. As you arrive at the coterie haven, you notice a sleek black sedan parked out front. You've seen this car before. You've ridden in this car before. This is a vehicle belonging to your praetor, Ansel Quirky. As you head inside the coterie haven, sitting in one of the armchairs is the aforementioned praetor, who offers you a polite smile and stands up, bowing, not too deeply, but enough to show a sign of respect, before lifting his attache case up and extracting what looked to be a rolled up piece of paper, possibly even parchment, and two jewelry boxes. Ah, Mr. Pierce, I am glad that I was able to catch you here this evening. I was admittedly hedging my bets. It was either going to be here or your personal haven, but given situations in the city, we felt it best not to conduct a full board meeting for this. I do hope you understand.
Understand.
And he tucks the boxes under his arm and unrolls the parchment. I, Ansel Quirky, praetor in good standing of the Philadelphia Board of Directors, do hereby acknowledge the recent undertakings by you, Mr. Thomas Pierce, former quaestor of the Board of Philadelphia, and hereby promote you to the rank of Aedile and present you with the Order of the White Cross and both the Blade of the First Knight and Blade of the Second Knight. Present yourself to be awarded, Aedile Pierce.
Thomas is going to step forward and give a deep bow.
With that, you will hear a bit of obnoxious applause in the background, almost robotic in nature, from just over your shoulder. If you happen to peer over your shoulder, you would notice that your young charge Drew is standing at the bottom of the stairs. Ansel will produce the 2 jewelry boxes, affixing to your lapel a white cross and a jeweled sword. Both of these are pins, the sword designed to fit behind the white cross. It contains a single ruby. There are other sockets set within the sword that look as though it would accept other jewels as more awards are given. You would also know, because your sire practically beat it into you, what all of these different awards mean. The Order of the White Cross is presented to Ventru who have in combat destroyed a member of the Sabbat. The Blade of the First Knight and the Blade of the Second Knight are awarded for destroying a Zemitzi that is a member of the Sabbat. The Zemitzi Poldu, Sabbat. These are prestigious awards that are not issued lightly. And while it is good to be acknowledged, you can't help but remember what it took to accomplish that. Ansel will, after affixing both of the pins to your lapel, he will return the empty boxes back to his bag. He will hand you the rolled up parchment, clap your hand on the shoulder, or clap his hand on your shoulder. My only wish is that our prince was here to award them to you personally, but matters have called him away.
I understand. I thank you for the honor.
We will be watching your career with great interest, Aedile Pierce. And with that, he offers another shallow bow before exiting the coterie haven. Almost as if on cue, we will first shift over to Miss Diadamo. Miss Diadamo, you have likewise roused from day sleep, and that bile, that coppery hunger has crept into the back of your throat as well. Do we wish to hunt, or are we going to be summoning coterie herd? How are we going to handle this?
Coterie herd.
Okay. So we'll be using that two dot herd to slake you back down Tonger 1. And how are you going to be getting ready for your night after summoning the herd and eating your fill?
She is going to be taking care of paperwork at her shop to begin.
Okay.
Orders
that
to
your
be made, things like that.
It is at your shop that we will remain for a moment. And there is a knock on the door.
I'd say she's at the front counter at this point, so doing paperwork, she'll look up to see who it is.
Through the window of the front door, you can see the familiar form of your primogen, Wendy Darling.
She'll set the paperwork down and she'll go to the door to answer it. Good evening.
Good evening, Miss Tiadamo.
And she'll invite her in.
Thank you. Forgive me. I couldn't allow this to wait until the news had broken out otherwise. Primogen Crisp has asked to take a leave of absence from the role. Due to what happened, he does not feel like he can face other Toreador in his condition. So he will be taking a leave of absence out of the city with some allies.
All right. Did he say where he would be going? Or
He did not.
that's understandable.
My understanding is somewhere underground.
That would be the safest bet.
We got off on a bad foot.
I would admit we certainly did.
For a variety of reasons. And I will admit, perhaps I was not the best teacher for what you needed to learn. And for that I do apologize.
I accept your apology. And she'll give a small nod.
She's gonna hold up a hand like, you have to let me finish first. Because I still might tick you off. I appreciate the sentiment. However, you may want to finish listening to what I am saying before you choose to accept my apology, though I made it in earnest.
Go on.
I am not the right teacher for you. My cousin Laurent appears also to be not the right teacher for you. But we are all there is. And we are clan leadership. Which makes me think that perhaps experience would be a better teacher for you. But you will not gain more experience hiding here in the shop. I am giving you 72 hours. You may pack what you need and go on hiatus. Find somewhere to travel to. I would suggest avoiding the Lehigh Valley for obvious reasons. I believe Victoria Ash may be prevailed upon to give you an internship of sorts. You may, of course, choose to ignore me. You may choose not to do this. I am giving you a chance to leave with your resources and your reputation intact. Should you choose ultimately to ignore me, I will brand you caitiff. This is not a decision I have come to lightly. It is not. But given the current climate, with the prince gone and a Nosferatu getting ready to declare praxis in her own name, I cannot have anything rocking the boat that we are finally beginning to make float again.
Understood.
Do you have any questions for me? Do you need contact information for Ms. Ash?
That would be appreciated.
And she'll hand it over. I am also willing to increase your number of resources since so much of it will be left behind here. You will find for the next 5 days, provided that you are out of the city within the first 72 hours, I will send you anything you need.
That is appreciated. I do ask that my home here is not destroyed. It is a part of the city's history.
I believe I can promise at least that much.
It does not matter if you shut it down, but I like it to stay intact.
Perhaps a museum or a public garden.
That would work. We used to be so much more than a flower shop, so maybe.
As a piece of the city's history, perhaps it could be declared a national monument, a historic monument.
That would work, as long as you make sure that anything related to it does not only count the flower shop, but what it used to be before that.
But of
Which
course,
was we
an
were an
apothecary.
apothecary. Yes. We took care of the neighborhood here during the Prohibition, and my mother did it during the Great Depression. I don't want that to be forgotten.
No. If we have it declared part of the historical balance of the city, the building itself would not be torn down and the stories would continue. It would be a living history museum. And I know of at least one botanist who would be happy to assist with its care.
That would be appreciated. Thank you for offering this.
Again, I do not make my decision lightly. But I could no longer ignore the apathy. And with the political situation being what it is, refusals to show face, refusals to follow orders or to behave sociably in certain contexts might mean that the city loses praxis. Or worse, that the praxis is transferred outside of those who currently control it.
Understandable.
I am unwilling and unable to allow that to occur. But as you are a cousin, it would be unseemly to send you on your way with no assistance whatever. We have enough resources to allow for the purchase of a small haven. Purchase outright, not just rental.
In that case, I do have a small request. If it can be found, my mother was originally from Sicily. I don't remember what her home was there because I never visited, but if there's a place there that I may have. I have not been back there, or haven't been there in all my life or in life. My mother meant to go back there after a few years, but as many immigrants, we got stuck here.
Very
if
well.
possible.
I will make inquiries. I'm sure the Polaris Group has holdings overseas. The Ventrue do like to get their sticky hands in everything.
I've noticed.
I apologize that our arrangement did not turn out in a way that was mutually beneficial. Good evening, Miss Tiadamo.
Good evening. I shall politely escort her to the door and let her out.
Yep, she'll make her way out.
And she's going to go back to the counter and just kind of sit there for a few minutes, processing.
Now, while you process that, we are going to move back over to the Coterie Haven, where, as Ansel exits, another individual enters. Laurent will enter into the common living area of the haven with what appears to be an envelope in his hands. He will look around, seeing only Thomas and Drew. Huh. A light night, I suppose.
Looks like it.
Well, unfortunately, I have, and he holds the envelope up. I went to go check on our young dragon, our slightly older dragon, and I found only this letter. It would seem that he has vacated the Coterie Haven, and as he slides the letter out, it would also seem as though he has vacated the city entirely. I had
I don't
hoped
blame
for
him.
the rest. I had hoped for the rest of you to be here, but he will, and I will pop this in your private chat for you to read over. He will hand you the letter that is written in Liam's distinctive handwriting. I expected him to take the loss hard, not expect him to take it this hard. Perhaps now would be a good time, when you've finished with that letter, to summon your dear Rose. I'm sure by now Wendy has finished delivering the news, and I wish to tell you I did all I could. But some decisions are final.
What do you mean?
Katherine, Miss Diadamo has been asked to exit our city. I assure you that every conceivable good has been done for her. But if you have any business you wish to settle with her, I suggest you do it tonight.
It seems she's at her shop.
I would assume so. If you'd like, I could escort you over there. It is not safe to travel on our own.
Right.
Though we will not be taking the potato. Be taking something a little bit more apropos. And he leads you out of the coterie haven, and behind where the sedan was parked is what looks to be an older town car. Very well kept. Nothing flashy, but still stylish. And drive you both over to Miss Diadamo's shop. He drums his fingers on the dashboard after he parks. I'll wait in the car. Can't imagine she would be overly excited to see my face, and perhaps it's best for you two to have some semblance of privacy.
That would be appreciated.
I'm nothing without my discretion, Mr. Pierce. It is, after all, the better part of valor. And he just sits and waits.
So, Thomas is going to get out of the car. He's going to go. He's going to walk through the door. Not even going to bother to knock.
Catherine wouldn't be at the front desk at that point. She would have gone upstairs to her room. And Thomas would know how to get in.
Not seeing her yet, Thomas is going to go and head up to her room.
Is he gonna knock?
This time he will knock.
Drew is just gonna stay at the entry. She has not been invited.
Who is it?
It's me. The only one that knows how to get here. The only one that would dare come up here.
And she'll go to open door. You do have a point. And she'll invite him in. Well,
I heard about you needing to leave, and two, he's going to hand her the letter from Liam.
what's this? Yeah. Sure.
The text for the letter will be in your coterie out of character chat.
Okay.
It's from you.
And she'll go to read the letter, which I'm doing right now real quick. So Liam is gone as well.
I don't know about the doc. I don't know how he's doing.
I have not heard from him either, so. So you've heard the news, and she'll say this. She's folding the letter back up.
Yeah, Laurent told me.
Yes, I will be. I talked to Wendy earlier. I've been given 5 days to, 72 hours to leave.
Oh.
They will help with arrangements for travel and such. In New Haven, they will keep this one intact as a museum type thing. Make sure that this history is not forgotten.
That is good news.
Yes. I just now need to figure out where to go from here. I talked to Wendy. She mentioned an internship with Victoria Ash. But I also decided that I want to go see my mother's home. She meant to go back before she got stuck here, like so many other immigrants. So I'm going to go see her home in Sicily and make a home of it myself. Likely. I have not decided whether I will take the internship, but I will at least chat with Miss Ash about it.
That is good. I want you to do things. You've been hiding for far too long.
I would say why, but you already know the reasons, so there's no sense in going over that again.
It's like Liam said in the letter. I live. I've got work to do here. But you should go live.
As much as any of us can live, but that is besides the point. Will you do me a favor? At least one.
Anything? Anything?
Down the road there's a cafe, Dolce Vita. It belongs to a dear friend of mine. She's still around. One of the last ones that was around. You remember her.
I remember Miss Sophie.
Well, she and her granddaughter make sure that they're taken care of and not bothered. I know Sophie likely does not have much time left, but unfortunately I won't be able to be here for her, so at least I would like someone to be here to make sure her and Liz are taken care of.
Keep an eye on them.
Grazie. She just kind of looks around. This has been my home for a century. Feels odd to leave it. I've only left it a few times, and never for long.
It wasn't great leaving Chicago either. You'll do it. You're too stubborn not to.
That's besides the point.
Make it.
Once I get settled in Sicily, if you wish to visit, you may make sure you have a way to contact me.
I certainly hope so.
You certainly hope so.
If
And why is that?
everybody in the coterie, and you need the longest.
True. Still remember when you stubborn nurse walked in front of my shop. At least you got a better
I
suit.
don't think you regret it.
At least you got the better suit now.
You don't, do you? Regret it.
Regret what?
Beating me.
And she'll stay quiet for a moment, but no, I don't. It was the catalyst for a lot of things. Even if it meant that now I'm leaving my home. But it's probably well past time for that to happen anyway. But no, I do not regret meeting you. Still think you're a stubborn arsehole, but that's besides the point.
Well, that's obvious.
And she'll actually smirk a little bit with that one. Among other things, but still.
You liked it.
That is besides the point. You said you'd have work here.
Got things to do.
That young woman, what became of her?
I've taken guardianship of her. Her name is Drew. She'll be getting help. Then I will guide her the best I can.
I wish you could stay to help, but decisions were made, so. If you do need any questions answered, though, you'll be able to get a hold of me.
She likes flowers, though.
Hmm?
Weird flowers, but she likes flowers.
Are there any windows in this room that we're currently in?
No. Well, they're boarded up to prevent sunlight getting in.
Good to know. Good to know. Was my only question. Carry on.
Well, if she is interested in flowers, I may have some books, and she'll gesture to a bookshelf that she may be interested in, but I don't know if they'll cover the type of flowers she may be wanting to know about, so.
She likes books. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
No, I won't be able to take all of them with me, so not easily.
Well, from what I can tell, she'll take good care of them.
All right. I'll make sure a selection of the books are available for you to take to her. Can bring them to the coterie haven or wherever she may be staying. Is she
Yeah.
staying with you?
At the coterie haven.
Okay.
For now. I guess until we make things formalized.
Okay. Can convert my room there into a small library if it helps. That way there's plenty of room and all that.
Not a bad idea. That being said, we've been so busy lately, we haven't had a chance to talk.
No, we haven't. But I guess now's as good a time as any. What it is that you wish to talk about, Thomas?
Right now is as good as time as any. I am not good at this sort of thing. But I needed to let you know before you left that I do
You do?
care about you.
And?
And I would have liked to see where this would have gone.
I would have liked that too.
You're the only one, Katherine.
The only one you've cared about?
Yeah.
You had a funny way of showing it at times.
Thomas is just trying to have serious heart to heart, and you're making fun of me.
No, I'm making an actual statement. If I was making fun of you, I'd make fun of you for the suit you had on when I met you.
Laying low.
There is tears all in the arm. Come on now. And it was wrinkled out the hell in back.
I was laying low.
If you insist. She has a slight smirk.
Tom's going to step closer to her. You always such a pain in the ass.
You weren't complaining any other time.
Did.
Not quite what I meant. But that's besides the point. So,
Well, now you know.
well, I did care about you as well. And part of me still does.
Part of you know.
But across countries might be a bit far for any kind of relationship. Might be. But that would be completely up to you.
If I was going to have you, I'd have to have you with me.
I figured as much. But we can at least still keep in touch.
Keep in touch. You know, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
You do tend to seem to be at a loss of words at times, don't you?
Because I don't know what I'm doing, Catherine. I've never done this before.
And I understand that. But yeah. Like I said, we'll keep in touch and go from there then. Like I said, I've been given 72 hours to leave the city, so granted most of that will be packing and such, but I will at least have some assistance from my cousins here. Yeah, I'm just not sure what I'm going to do. Something at least, but we'll see.
Like I said, you're stubborn. You'll make it. Being stubborn even now.
Fair enough. Was there anything else?
I think now is a good time to take a peek behind the veil. Catherine, what's going through your mind right now?
She is not so much confused, but just uncertain.
Understandable. And
But part of
Thomas,
her is,
go
as I
ahead.
say, part of her is looking forward to the opportunity to see where her mother came from.
And Thomas,
Thomas is slightly frustrated.
understandable.
So
the two of you have been together, in a manner of speaking, close, but not all the way the last 4 months. Because, yes, a reminder for both our players and our audience, in continuity, it has only been 4 months since session 1, even though we have been playing this season for an entire year now. It seems like as much as we wanted to connect, we never quite made it. Thomas, is this going to be one of the greatest regrets of your unlife?
Yes.
We all have the one that got away. Many of us have the one that got away. But as the bard once said, "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all." And who knows what the future may hold. Is there any further conversation, Thomas, that you would like to have with Katherine before we move our scene along a little bit?
Yeah. Thomas
Okay.
is going to step closer to Katherine, and she is going to reach out a hand and stroke her cheek.
Oh, hopefully not with the back of the nails. That's just so creepy.
Okay, cup the cheek with his hand. So he's gonna look at her. I imagine we're both gonna be busy in the next few nights, so I don't know if I will see you again. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm not going to leave it at this. I'm not going to let it hang over us like it has been for the past several months. Told you you were the only one. You are the only woman that I have ever actually fallen for. I
Oh, Thomas, just say it.
love you, Katherine.
You love me? I thought you didn't do that.
Not since I met you.
And she's just kind of, she needs a moment. And she's trying to figure out what to say. She needs
I would understand if you don't feel the same. I mean, I am a bit of an asshole, so not exactly romance material. And he's going to step back.
And she'll take a step forward when he does. And reach up the same way he did. And I love you too, you stubborn asshole. And we'll pull him down for a kiss.
Thomas will, of course, enthusiastically kiss her back.
And when she breaks the kiss, she's like, well, we generally live forever, or at least as long as we can. Maybe sometime in the future we can see what happens. Once things have settled. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, we'll see. Did you stop unpacking and come downstairs?
Repeat that one more time, my headset.
Did you want to hold off on packing and come downstairs?
I should continue, but most of this will likely go into storage until it's shipped wherever I'm at, so
Not too much anyway.
I can wait a little bit. They gave me 3 nights anyway. I had to do the mental math for him. I was like, wait a minute. I am not a math game. And she'll follow him downstairs.
Through the windows of the shop, you can see the flower beds outside. A young blonde girl who is furiously digging with not more than her hands, rearranging various plants out front, potting, repotting, with the widest, oddest smile stretched across her dirt-streaked face. And a very exasperated Laurent sitting behind the steering wheel of a town car parked out front.
Mhm.
See, Drew has been keeping herself occupied.
I can see that.
Thomas is going to go get Drew and bring her in.
And while he's doing that, Catherine's going to go to the back of her shop real quick where she knows some gardening tools are. And she's going to bring out a few of them and put them on the counter.
This would be a great place to take a short 5-minute break. Let everybody kind of shake off the first hour of this session before we come back and start to get the ball rolling on some things. So I will see you all back here in about 5 minutes. Make sure that we have we've grabbed our water, we've de-shrimped, we've used the bathroom. And yeah, I'll see you all back here in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Welcome back. We are once again joining our players for the final coterie session of the Neonates table for season 2 of Philly by Night, wherein Thomas and Katherine are dealing with a parting of ways. But Thomas, I believe you were heading outside to collect your young charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's gonna walk up to Drew and what are you up to?
Helping. This one outgrew the planter, and that one needs more calcium. And I wonder if they have magnesium salts inside, because I was preventing root bind.
Well, let's go on in and ask Miss Katherine.
They have to invite me.
This is gonna turn back to Katherine, and would you like to invite her inside?
Yes, you may come inside.
Okay, thank you. And she's immediately just gonna wander off and look at plants.
I saw that you were digging with your hands. I have gardening tools here if you wish to take care of the plants. And I also have other things in the back, if you'd like me to show you. But
I
the
like
tools are here on the...
plants.
Well, I will be leaving the city in a few days. If you'd like to continue taking care of the plants here, you're more than welcome to. There is even a room upstairs that will be vacated when I leave. You may stay here if you like.
May I touch the plants?
Yes, you may.
Yay. Okay.
and she'll look at Thomas. If she needs a place to stay that's not the coterie haven, she can stay here. She can take care of the place, make sure it's upkept, and make sure the plants are taken care of.
Eventually. I don't think she's ready for that yet, but I will be sure to bring her by every so often then.
That's fine. I'll make sure I leave the keys for you both.
There is a soft jingling that comes from the town car. I think we forgot who owns the building, the land, the airspace.
I have talked to Wendy about what's to be done with the place. We have made agreements for that.
And I will be speaking to my contacts at the Historic Society to make sure that all of the necessary preparations are made. I don't like what we had to do, but it was necessary. You understand?
As I told Wendy, it's understandable.
But I am a man of my word. I promise you that this place will stand for... This place will continue to stand for as long as any of us have a place in this city.
That is appreciated. It's my home, but it does have history.
Yes. Mr. Pierce, there will be a small matter of addressing the court about your arrangement with the young Drew.
Yes. Yes, I still need to get that set up.
And Miss Diadamo, if you wish to take the night off, I can have a crew sent over to help with the heavy lifting.
There are some things I do not want them to touch, but I will make sure they are marked accordingly.
They will be at your command.
Look, deadly nightshade. You can tell this one because twisted stems and black berries and these little flowers that almost look like skulls.
There's oleander in the window too, and she'll gesture to it. It's one of my favorites.
This is toxic at a level of 25 micrograms for a person that weighs 200 pounds.
You're very knowledgeable about these things.
Quite the budding botanist.
Well, as I offered her, if she wishes to continue to care for the plants here, she may do so. It would be much appreciated from my end.
And Laurent will nod.
And she's just going to go around and talk about all of the different plants and the levels at which they are toxic.
Yes, because Catherine has at least, I can't name them all, but at least half a dozen plants there that are toxic.
Ooh, look, hemlock. This one is famous because it's what they used to kill Aristotle.
Oh, that I did not know. And which other ones can you identify? Because Catherine is honestly curious.
That one is amaryllis. It is usually used as a decorative plant. However, it is toxic to animals in amounts as low as 7 micrograms and to the average 200-pound human at approximately 19 micrograms.
Nice. You're very knowledgeable about all of these things. It's good to know that my plants will be left in such care when I've left the city.
And Drew will continue on in this fashion for a good amount of time, just pointing out each of the plants and their toxicities, lowest lethal dose, things of that nature. And she is to the 10th as accurate as one could be.
And Catherine's actually very proud of her for knowing all this.
Did you know the trees you have out front are also toxic?
Yes, this has been my home for a long time, so I'm aware of just how many of these plants are not safe for people.
Wisteria is toxic.
Mm-hmm. And you pointed out the nightshade already, also known as belladonna.
She just
Wait, the porn star?
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, I was trying to behave and not.
Oh no, Laurent is just like the porn star?
The poison. She has been used historically for quite a few poisons. But I digress. My family's grown it for a long time.
Master grew poisons also. Maybe your family knows my master.
I doubt, but it's my human family, and I'm the last one left, as far as I know.
Oh.
Well, technically not the last human left at this point, but yeah.
Yes, yes, very sad.
Oh, lordy.
Catherine looked Thomas. Have fun with that one.
She's going to be a handful. But I've got help. So
And you have the support of the city, so.
And Laurent will lean into Thomas. See this? This is why I can never embrace. And just
You've never,
pat you on the shoulder.
he'll look at, you've never had a child or.
No, unfortunately, motherhood just isn't in the cards for me.
Something we have in common then.
Andrew's gonna come back with a mouthful of leaves.
My dear, which plants do you have in your mouth currently?
Mint! It tastes like cold.
And Catherine gave a sigh of relief, like, okay, good. There should be mint and spearmint. It's just a slightly sweeter flavor for one, but
It was in the book from Mix Leclerc. She said I could read it. I asked first.
well, I'm going to make sure that Thomas here brings you many more books that I have in upstairs. A lot of them deal with plants, so they'll be for you to learn from or to at least browse.
May I touch the books?
Yes, you may touch the books. I will make sure that Thomas brings books for you to touch, and you'll have permission to have them. You may keep them if you wish. As I said, I'll be leaving the city in a few nights, so I cannot bring them all with me. But you are welcome to them. I'll make sure Thomas has a list of what they are.
She said I could keep the book. Then I will have more than one book.
You have plenty of books.
We can start a little library for you.
Ooh.
Does you wouldn't happen to know, Laurent, if the Seneschal has any openings soon?
The Seneschal has been busy, but I'm sure if pressing city business were to cross their desk, they could potentially make some time. Let me make a call. And he steps off, pulls out his cell phone. And Laurent will step back after a couple of minutes. Well, as far as I can tell, there is an opening for us, but we will have to make things quick. You're more than welcome to accompany us, Miss Diadamo. If you should so desire it. I know the two of you have precious little time together.
I will join you then.
And he'll open up the back door of the town car and allow you both to get in the back. Dear.
Dirt covered fledglings go in the trunk.
Oh, no, dear. We're going to and he reaches into the front in the glove box and pulls out a brush and just kind of begins brushing Drew off as best he can. There we are. Presentable enough. We'll have to get you some gardening clothes. Come on, Spitz Pup. They'll just kind of like usher her into the passenger seat of the car before getting in himself and driving off to Elysium. As they drive, there's time for the two of you to have a bit of conversation in the back seat, knowing that there is Laurent and a fledgling in the front seat.
Max is going to reach over and take Catherine's hand.
And she'll allow it. Without her usual hesitation.
Finally. So we get over to Elysium without much ado. Laurent parks the car and he'll help Drew out, open the door for the two of you, let you get out of the car, and lead you through the twisting, turning subterranean hallways before arriving at one of the offices within the Philadelphia Art Museum, very gently rapping on the door with his nose.
You might as well come in.
And he'll open the door, step in. He offers a deep bow, deeper than you have seen Laurent. Either of you have seen Laurent bow to anyone. Mr. Pierce, Miss Diadamo, and Mr. Pierce's young charge.
Rumors have gotten that far, have they?
They are my stock in trade, Your Grace.
Very well. Mr. Pierce, you sure you know what you're getting into?
Thomas is going to give a deep bow. I am determined to do my best to take care of her and guide her.
But by making this arrangement formal, you are also taking over responsibility for her.
I understand.
She fouls up. You fouled up. She breaks cover. You break cover. And unlike the other little ones, I understand you were supposed to be advising. This one's not even your clan.
She needs someone to help her. And I just don't want to pass her along to just anyone.
I'm beginning to think it's something in your bloodline.
See?
This is acceptable.
already have made arrangements for her to continue learning from those that can provide education that I cannot.
How about your faith? You fixing to expose her to that too?
If it is clear that is her path,
And what exactly would make that clear, Mr. Pierce?
time, want to see who she becomes as her education continues.
Very well. I will allow this on one condition. You know what's going on right now, Mr. Pierce.
I have some inkling.
You know that John is gone.
I have been told.
And that I am preparing to take praxis to be sure that this city remains as he intended it to be. I expect a certain amount of loyalty when it comes to your family, though I don't imagine I will get it from certain quarters. Your praetor, for example. Now, I ain't gonna ask you to stand up to an ancilla. That ain't a fair expectation. I do expect you to remember that I have done something your praetor would not have.
My loyalty is to Billy.
That's all I needed to hear, Mr. Pierce. Miss Tiadamo, I am aware of the arrangements that were made for you. It so happens that my sire knows a place that used to be a monastery, an abbey, in the general area you was talking about. Apparently it's fallen into disrepair. Does this seem like a place that might be usable for starting over?
It would be.
It just so happens that Polaris Holdings happens to have an interest in that particular lot. I can have the transfer papers completed by tomorrow night.
That would be appreciated. Thank you. I will need help making proper travel arrangements as well.
Oh, I would imagine Laurent's got that up, down, backwards, and sideways. Isn't that right, Monsieur Dalbert? You are muted.
I can have a private jet readied at your convenience. Turns out when you're a bit of a rambler, you accrue various clandestine means of travel.
That'd be appreciated. Thank you.
Ooh la la. Private jet.
Just a gift from a former fan.
You mean a stalker?
I mean a wealthy gentleman with whom I had
Relations with?
negotiated affections.
Well, far be it from me to judge other folks' taste.
Survival is not a glamorous thing, but one that we all find our ways to accomplish.
You been talking to my daddy?
I assure you, the late prince and I have not had very many chances at private discussion.
You know good and goddamn well that wasn't what I meant.
And Laurent just shrugs.
At any rate, I don't see a whole lot of need to hold you much longer. I'm sure y'all have things you would much rather do.
Is there anything else that needs to be done to any more official paperwork or anything? Concerning the fledgling.
You think we keep paper for that?
If there was anything else I was required for this.
No. I know you loyally lie. I know that you seem to understand the risks you are taking by taking on a fledgling, especially one ain't your clan. I would be remiss if I did not warn you this will probably cause some ripples.
Certainly nothing an Edile board can't handle. Isn't that right, Mr. Pierce?
I will do everything that I can. And I'm no stranger to ripples.
Very well. It is official, or as official as it's ever gonna get. You hold the accounting of what was her, and she's just like flipping through reports that are essentially like comic books drawn. Flip, flip, flip. Druentia Dragonov. So, from this day until the day she gets out of accounting or the day you meet your final death, whichever comes first, you are ordered responsible for the care, the training, and education of Drew Dragonov of the clan Smeetsy.
Thomas will bow deeply. Thank you.
Well, I imagine you got some setting up to do, and you probably want to get that one somewhere she can get a shower before anybody notices she's about a foot and a half deep in dirt.
Yes, we'll get her cleaned up.
Nat, did you want to do the introduction thing now? I realize I ain't the prince just yet, but it saves us some time.
That would probably be a good idea. He is going to gesture to Drew. Uh, as should I address you for this? If it's simply Seneschal for the moment, or
Well, officially it's still keep a sexton, but I am told I should get used to your grace.
Your Grace, I would like to present to you Durentia Dragunov.
Druentia, you are afforded the hospitality of my city. You are placed under the care, guidance, and accounting of Mr. Thomas Pierce. At such time as you have received proper education, you may request an end to your accounting. Do you understand me? Accounting? It just means that until you learn the stuff you gotta know to survive, Thomas is gonna help you out. Yes, ma'am. May I ask a question? I don't see why not. Why do you cover your face? For a lot of reasons, child. Whole lot of reasons.
Thomas will turn to Drew and go, "This is something we will learn about during your education."
Okay. Can we go now?
Our business is wrapped up. You may address her as your Grace and give her a bow. Bow.
And Drew is going to give like a deep bow with her arms outstretched. Thank you for your time, Your Grace. Okay, now can we go?
Well done, Drew. Your Grace. And Thomas will bow.
Mr. Pierce, Ms. Tiadamo, Ms. Dragonoff. May the darkness guide you.
All right. Well, now that that's all taken care of, let's give her Grace some time to adjust to her new role. And he'll just kind of, all right, everybody, out the door.
And Catherine will follow along.
Thomas will usher Drew out.
Right. Well, I can drop you each off at your respective havens, but I need a drink.
Thank you for your help
Responsibility
today.
gives me hives.
Understandable. Yeah, we'll drop off Catherine first.
Unless you wish to be dropped off at the same haven. Far be it from me to pry, but since I will be playing chauffeur this evening, I am at your beck and call. And he gives a kind of mock curtsy.
Let's go to the coterie haven.
Catherine will nod.
Well enough. And he'll lead you all back to the car. The drive back to the coterie haven is uneventful. And from there, he will leave the three of you to your evenings as he does not exit the car. He just kind of like, all right, we're here. Get out. Before gliding back off into the night.
Thomas is going to make sure Drew gets cleaned up.
Yep, Drew's gonna get cleaned up and then go back to her room, which she would refer to as her cell, and sit with the doll and brush its hair while she reads one of the books Cyrene lent her.
One of these nights, I'll get her to stop referring to it as a cell.
Hopefully sooner than later.
Well, I know what I want to do. Would you like to join me in my room?
Certainly. And she'll follow him to his room.
And I think that is a great place to call an end to this session. I wish to thank you all for coming out for this season finale. Have a wonderful night, and remember, just because we play monsters does not mean we cannot be the light in somebody's life. Have a great night. Take care.